Shalom, shalom. Before I get the lesson started, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakakadash, and I want to give a double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone of whom I do learn from, and a shalom to the hopeful elect brothers taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the hopeful elect of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother with Daw. I'm going to attempt to teach something I just learned. It's amazing out of the book of the Song of Solomon. But before I do, I want to play this wedding, and I want you to look at this wedding celebration. It's got the man who is the groom and his bride, and they're dancing. And I've watched this a few times now. When I first saw it, the first couple of seconds, I got jealous. Because I was like, why are the heathen always copycatting things that we do or trying to do things like us? And then the Spirit came over me and said, no, watch this, look at this. How many parallels can you see in the scriptures that you just learned from the Song of Solomon? Because Elder, I was searching GMS Song of Solomon, and Elder Menat Zakba broke it down. One of the brothers out of New Orleans broke it down really good. And Elder Apostle Ryamlam was also breaking it down, and two other brothers. And I'll show those videos, a glimpse of those videos at the end of this lesson, so people can go back and reference this stuff. But once I was taken through by their lead, and because Song of Solomon's still been a mystery to me, but once they unlocked a few things, I was like, oh my gosh, there it is. And I was able to line up with other precepts. So I want you to look at this. There's multiple meanings in the bride. I want you guys to notice the bride, because according to what we see now in Song of Solomon was written by Solomon, and it's the focus is three people or three situations. You got the person of Song of Solomon in the actual song. You have the Shulamite woman, who is the female object of the desire of Song of Solomon, and then you have the virgins. And the way this is broken down is the Shulamite is actually Yahweh Shai, and Solomon is the Most High, or his father, and the virgins are the elect men of the northern and southern kingdom. That's how that is to be read. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I want you to look at this intro on this wedding, and then we're going to get some precepts, but try to be, because we know that King Solomon likens the spirit of the Most High, wisdom of knowledge of understanding, as a woman, right? And we also know that the men, the elect men of Israel, the daughter of Zion, are also likened unto a comely woman. And we also know that Israel, right, is likened unto a woman. Jerusalem is the mother of us all. Those are all dark sayings. Those are physical, geographical, male descriptions or realities that are likened unto women, using the beauty and the beauty of a woman and the purity of a virgin. But it's all dark saying. They're mysteries. They're secrets that can only be opened up and shared with the elect, the hopeful elect of the men of Israel. So, and in the Song of Solomon, Yahweh Shai uses the same tactic, and he is described as the chief or head virgin of all the virgins, and when in comparison to his father, and it makes sense. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I want you guys to look at this wedding as Yahweh Shai is married, being married to the spirit of wisdom, which is his father. And then at the end, when the bride is celebrating with her brothers and sisters, which is a type and shadow of the elect, if you can receive it. Check this out, man. Precept. I want the precept when those batons that they're holding. I want you to liken those in your mind as rods, or scepters of rulership. And when they're dancing, which is what? It's the same thing when the harpers harp on their song, on their harps, and they sing the words of the new song. What does the 1/3 do? The 1/3 that is in agreement dances along to the music of the doctrine of the new song, right? Amos 3:3. How can two walk together lest they be agreed? There is a precept in the Wisdom of Solomon where Solomon is speaking about loving wisdom more than scepters. When they switch, when the bride throws the scepter or the baton or the rod up into the air and her bride catches it, what the Spirit showed me was that's Yahushua saying, I love wisdom even more than the scepter, and because of that, that is why he gets the scepter. And as she throws the baton up in the air and her bride catches it, they then pivot and move, and he goes from being in front to then taking the back seat, and then she's in front with another scepter and moving forward. Just like if you look in the scriptures, how Yahushua was concealed. He's in the volume of the book, but he was concealed by the Spirit for so many ages or so many books, and then he's revealed. He's revealed all throughout the precepts, you guys. But he starts to really get revealed in the book of Ezra. And then a couple 400 years later is when he comes down as Yahushua, and he starts to show us and the apostles then that he's the fulfillment of all these prophecies. Check this out, and then I'll get some precepts. There. I love the Father. I love his wisdom even more than rulership. I want your wisdom. And as she throws it back to him, as Yahushua says, look, I want your wisdom. What does the Father do? He provides another scepter for his son and says, not only will I give you this, I'm going to give you everything else. And then they switch positions. Watch this. Now Yahushua is really going to start to manifest. The Word of God becomes flesh. He's been being spoken about this whole time in the Old Testament. He is the volume of the book, but now he's going to start to take physical manifestation, and even us, his own people, we're going to begin to really, really see who he is, man. The scepter in his hand, and he's surrounded by the hopeful elect, the elect men of Yasharallah on the Mount Zion, going absolutely insane while he rules on the throne of David. Man, bro. And the only reason why I was even able to even see that way, because you can look at that same video. You can see King Solomon speaking about the Holy Spirit from the bridegroom's perspective, because you can see that. You can see Yahushua speaking about the men of Israel, the elect men of Israel on Mount Zion. You can see that from that perspective. And you can see all of us celebrating Yasharallah, the actual holy land, because that's the mother of us all. You can see all of those. You can see all those in the bridegroom and his wife. You can see Yahushua as the man speaking about wisdom in the red dress. You can see the Most High in Yahushua as the man speaking about the daughter of Zion, the elect men who are likened unto a comely woman in the red dress. And you can see Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua and the elect men talking about Jerusalem, Mount Zion, Israel, the actual geographical location, the mother of us all, in the red dress. But in Song of Solomon, I did not know this until just recently. Yahushua is taking the position, King Solomon is taking the position of the Shulamite woman And he's putting his father in the position of him as King Solomon. And the virgins, which are all these other people in the wedding, those are your elect men. Those are the other elect men. I'm gonna do an overview of what I've learned. But you can see all that in this way. Yahushua as King Solomon is the only one who ever said, I want your wisdom more than anything. He's the only one that has displayed. And that's why he's called the chief virgin. He's displayed as the woman with no, I'm going to get the precept. It's in Wisdom of Solomon. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why. No one has ever done this. No one has ever asked the Father for his wisdom. We've always asked him for everything else. Yahushua as King Solomon asked the Father for his wisdom. And then in the book of in the Song of Solomon, he switches roles. It's, bro, the penmanship, the bars, the lyricism, the mystery, it's insane how the Spirit writes this stuff, man. I'm starting to think some of these are jakes, just by the way they're moving. Let's get the precepts. Let's get the precepts. Oh, let's go back here. So look. So we already know. I'm going to get that last. We already know that Yahushua, we understand through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's been given to us by the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Right, we already understand that reincarnation is a reality. All right, it is a reality, and we understand that the Wisdom of Solomon was written by King Solomon, and we also understand that King Solomon is Yahushua. Right, so this is the Wisdom of Solomon, written by King Solomon. This is Wisdom of Solomon 8. Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily, and sweetly doth she order all things. Wisdom is not a woman. Wisdom is described as a woman. Verse 2, I loved her and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty. Verse 3, in that she is conversant with the Most High, or the power, she magnifieth her nobility, yea, the Lord of all things himself loved her. The Most High loves wisdom. Verse 4, for she is privy to the mysteries and the knowledge of the power of the Most High, and a lover of his works. You see how this is written? Look at verse 5. If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things? That's the passing back of the baton. I love your wisdom more than anything. This is the attitude. This is the spirit of Yahushua, man. Verse 6, if prudence work, who of all that are is a more cunning workman than she? You got two descriptions of male and female being used mysteriously, dark saying-wise, to describe wisdom in verse 6. Wisdom is the spirit of the Most High, and he is a man. He is our Father. But right here, that workmanship is described as a she. It's amazing. Look at this. And then this is Proverbs. Proverbs 5. It's the same king. King Solomon writing. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad in rivers of waters in the streets. Let them only be thine own. Talking about the exclusivity of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that is only given to the elect men of Israel and the nation of Israel as a whole, compared to the 17 other nations on the earth. Let them be only thine own, and not strangers with thee. Verse 18, let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Who is the wife? This is not talking about a virgin girl. It's talking about the spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the moon and the sun that is at our head and our feet. for the nation of Israel. Talking about the Spirit. You are to love, you are to pursue wisdom the same way you would a wife. Let thy fountain be blessed. What's the fountain? Rivers of living water. They both proceed from the throne of the Most High and His Son into who? Into the elect, into the nation of Israel, the 1/3 hopeful elect. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Verse 19, let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breasts satisfy thee at all times. What is this talking about? What does Peter say? Desire the sincere milk of the word. What does the prophet say? Who shall be taught? Who shall be those who shall be taught doctrine? Those who are weaned from the breasts. Let's pull it. Those who are weaned from the breasts. Let's pull it. I forgot about that one. Those who are weaned from the breast. From the breast. It means to be raised up, to be nourished, to be brought up. Whom shall we teach knowledge? Isaiah 28:9. Whom shall we teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? What doctrine? The new song. The voice. My sheep hear my voice. My sheep know my voice. Lift up the voice. Lift up the hand. Lift up the voice upon the mountain, and raise up a banner, right? Lift up the doctrine. Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breasts, right? What's the next verse say? For precept, boom. So we see that drawn from the breast for what? So this is the context. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little. This is what we're doing right here with all of this. We're proving that the Most High is declared, is likened unto a woman when His Son is speaking about Him concerning His wisdom, His brilliance, His knowledge, His understanding. We understand that the elect men of Israel, the rulership, the government, the masculine men, the orators, the captains of 50s, the captains of 100s, the elders, the artificers, the prophets, those masculine men are likened unto a comely woman. We also know that Jerusalem, the mother of us all, is likened unto a woman, and even Ezra has a vision of him speaking to a woman who was a representation of Israel or Zion. Okay? And now we're going to go into, we're laying all this foundation to then go into the Song of Solomon and show you that the Shulamite woman in the Song of Solomon is actually Yahweh Shai. I didn't know that until, and then this man, I just thought of Yahweh Bashem for the men of GMS. Verse 19, let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breasts satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. The love of the revelation of wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Learning these precepts, that is love, because everybody doesn't get this. This is also explained in the Wisdom of Solomon. Verse 20, and why wilt thou, my son, look at this, be ravished with the strange woman? Now, who is this woman? Again, it's not talking about a girl or a lady or some big booty hoe. It's talking about doctrines, philosophies from mostly Esau, Edom, and the other nations that are in cahoots with him. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? Verse 21, for the ways of man are before the eyes of Yahweh, and He pondereth all His doings. Let's get to the next one. This is Wisdom of Solomon 7. Look at this. Verse 24, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. Verse 25, for she is the breath and the power of the Most High. So you're telling me, so this is explaining the breath and the power of Yahweh, the Most High, as a she, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. Look at verse 26. Now this is where it pivots also again. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High, and the image of His goodness. Who else is also likened or called the image of the Most High? You got it. Look, let's pass all these, but we're going to get back to those. Look at this. Colossians 1, verse 13. Who hath delivered us from the power of darkness, talking about Yahushua, and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature. Colossians 1:15. Right, so right there, so Yahushua is likened unto wisdom in that precept, in this precept, right? And if wisdom is likened unto a woman, and Yahushua is likened unto wisdom, that means that Yahushua, as directed by the Spirit in dark speech, can liken himself unto a woman, and he does so in Song of Solomon. It's insane. I didn't know this. For she is the brightness. I'm going to read that again. Wisdom of Solomon 7, verse 26. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High, Yahweh, and the image of his goodness. Verse 27. And being but one, she can do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new. I think there's a precept in Revelations that says the same thing. I make all things new. Behold, I make all things new. Whew, it just keeps precept upon precept, and in all ages entering into holy souls, and these are your virgins. These are the men of Israel that are likened unto a comely woman. So everyone starts taking on the same form or shape within their own order, being in their own lanes, right? She maketh them friends of the power and prophets. 28. For God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. And you can link that back up to Proverbs. Remember? Let her love. Verse 19. Proverbs 5, verse 19. Let her be as the loving and hind and the pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. Right here, verse 28 in the Wisdom of Solomon 7. For the power loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. It just keeps connecting. Jeremiah 6:2. I have likened the daughter of Zion. The daughter of Zion is talking about the men. That's a dark saying. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. It's talking about the men. Ezekiel 36. Oh, that's 37 is going into the northern kingdom, because I need that precept. And then this is the bride. Look. Revelations 19:6. And I heard, as it were, the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thundering, saying, Hallelujah, for the Lord God omnipotent reigneth. Verse 7, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. Okay, now let's show you here. So this is the Wisdom of Solomon. All right, I'm going to start from verse 6. So this is Solomon's writing this, right? But he's writing out all the parts. And this is one of the parts. So verse 9, Solomon 6, verse 9. My dove, my undefiled is but one. So this is in the person of Solomon speaking about his woman, right? So Solomon is the Most High, and the undefiled, the woman, is actually Yahushua. My dove, my undefiled is but one. She is the only one of her mother. She is the choice one of her that bare her. The daughters saw her and blessed her, yea, the queens and the concubines, and they praised her. Who is she that looketh for as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners? So the sun and the moon is what? When you go into Revelation, was it 12? I saw a sight, a woman standing with the sun, a woman with the sun. Let me see. Yeah, and there appeared a great wonder. Look, and there appeared a great, see, Revelations 12:1, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head was the crown of 12 stars, right? Okay, and she being with child, so that child is a son, but it's also right here. This is that child in dark speech. My dove, my undefiled is but one. She is the only one of her mother. He's the savior. He's the star of Jacob. He's the star that's going to rise up out of Jacob, right? She is the choice one of her that bear her. Talking about Yahushua being born throughout the generations in the seed line of Jacob, right? He's the offspring. He's the root and offspring. He's the root and of David. He's the root and offspring of David, right? Here, let's get that so I don't butcher it. I am the root. I am the root and offspring of David. I, Yahushua, sent mine angel to testify unto you. This is Revelations 22:16. I, Yahushua, have sent mine angel unto you to testify unto you these things and to the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright morning star. Okay, so this is him, right? And we are, and we're the other virgins. Right? One of her that bare her, the daughters saw her. It's talking about the other virgins. It's talking about the elect men who surround him. Right? Who is she that looketh forth as the morning, for as the moon, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners? Now we keep reading, and now this is also the proof also that he is the Shulamite, because I even heard one of the brothers say it. I was like, oh my gosh. So this is Song of Solomon 6:13. Return, return, O Shulamite. Return, return, that we may look upon thee. What will ye see in the Shulamite? As it were the company of two armies. Who are the two armies? That's your northern and southern kingdom. And that's where and then you pull up Ezekiel 37, and you read it. 37:16 down. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. 17. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. 18. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? And then that's when we explain the doctrine, we explain our histories. 19, saying to them, thus saith the Lord the power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. Talking about the restoration, the complete restoration of Yasharallah. Now look at this. I'm almost done. So this is the Most High. This is Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon wrote this. Who is Yahushua? But this is what the Most High is saying about this. This is what Solomon is saying about the Shulamite, which is the Father speaking this about the Son. How beautiful are thy feet with shoes, O prince's daughter. The joints of thy thighs are like jewels, the work of thine hands of a cunning workman. Of a cunning workman. Thy navel is like a round goblet, which wanteth not liquor. Thy belly is like an heap of wheat set about. Now, we understand that when a man, as a normal, natural man, supernatural man, sees a woman and she's got those thighs and her hips and her stomach's a certain kind of way and her backside is shaped, that's what that is going into, verse 1, you guys. The intensity of how a woman looks when they're shaped that real specific way, when there's actually like even a gap in between their legs when they stand. That's what that's talking about. That's how intense the beauty is that the Spirit is saying about Yahushua, describing him on this graphic manner. That's what that's saying. And then going into his belly, his mind, his spirit. Thy navel is like a round goblet, which wanteth no liquor. Thy belly is like an heap of wheat set about with the lilies. Thy two breasts are like two young roes that are twins. Now, what is that? That's going into the breastplate of judgment on his chest. And what is on his chest when he's the high priest? The 4 rows. The northern and southern kingdom, the elect men, the 12,000, the 12 stones represented by the 12,000 elect men of each tribe on his chest, those who stand with him on Mount Zion. Thy neck is as a tower of ivory. And this is the Spirit moving, working through King Solomon, describing the Most High, beholding Yahweh Shai with all of his virgins underneath and around him. Thy neck is as a tower of ivory, mine eyes like as the fish pools, thine eyes like as the fish pools in Heshbon by the gate of Bathrabim. Thy nose is the tower of Lebanon, which looketh toward Damascus. Now look at this. This thy stature is like to a palm tree, and thy breast to clusters of grapes. And we understand that the harvesting of the earth is like a harvesting of grapes. So you can see it all right there. And look at that, verse 9. And the roof of thy mouth like the best wine of my beloved that goeth down sweetly, causing the lips of those that are asleep to awake. I'm assuming that's talking about the resurrection when we begin to wake up. Verse 12. Let us get up early to the vineyards. Now this is the Most High and Yahweh looking over the church, looking over our development, our productivity. Let us see if the vine flourish, whether the tender grapes appear, and the pomegranates bud forth. There will I give thee my love, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is the fruitfulness of the elect being sealed and us coming to our completion, right? Verse 3 or verse 2. I would lead thee and bring thee into my mother's house. Who would instruct me? I would cause thee to drink of spiced wine of the juice of my pomegranate. His left hand should be under my head, and his right hand should embrace me. Now look at this down here. This is crazy. Oh, I stopped. Actually, let me just stop there so I don't get too. There was one I wanted to show you guys something about the spices. Where was it? Oh, it was right here. Okay, wait. Let me see. Okay, right here. No, I'm missing it. So I'm gonna end it here because there was another one that talked about all the different spices. Let me see if I can hold on really quick. I'm gonna try to find. Okay, Salakia. It was chapter 4. So look at this. All this symbolism. So again, this is King Solomon speaking. This is King Solomon writing, right? Which we know is Yahushua, but in this context, he is the Shulamite woman, and the Most High is in the position of himself. Verse 10, how fair is thy love, my sister, my spouse, how much better is thy love than wine, and the smell of thine ointment than all spices. Thy lips, O my spouse, drop as the honeycomb. Honey and milk are under thy tongue, and the smell of thy garments is like the smell of Lebanon. A garden enclosed is my sister, my spouse. A spring shut up, a fountain sealed. Going back into Proverbs. This is the exclusivity of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that Yahweh, and the elect share. It's not for everybody. Thy plants are an orchard of pomegranates with pleasant fruits, camphor and spikenard, and saffron, calamus, and cinnamon, with all trees of frankincense, myrrh, and aloes, with all the chief spices. Now that goes into all the different variety of the elect men of God that are underneath or around the head virgin, who is Yahushua, a fountain of gardens, a well of living waters, and streams from Lebanon. Awake, O north wind, and come, thou south, blow upon my garden, that the spices thereof may flow. Talking about, being a husbandman to that which has been planted, the righteous planting of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, which is what? The elect men of the Most High, and then the 1/3, hopefully, the 1/3 innumerable multitude. So I just wanted to go into that real quick. I've never seen Song of Solomon like this ever before, and I want to thank the man of GMS. I want to pull up one of those videos real quick. Hold on. So this was one. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Right here. This was one of them. Song of Solomon. This brother does a really good job.
Shalom, Israel. It's the brother Kaya coming from the gym. That's Louisiana Saints camp. And
Good.
I just was
Do yourself a favor and listen to him break this down. It's awesome. There's another one that I have. Let me see. I'm just going to do this. Boom. This by Elder Elder Apostle Ramlam does an excellent job, of course, like always. This brother.
And the other brothers Zahab, he seen
Yahweh Shai is coming back. Does a good job. And there was one more. Right here.
shit. This nigga shit.
Elder, of course, Elder Manat Zaba out of the South Carolina camp. In the beginning breaks down something I never even thought of. So that's what started this whole so-called rabbit hole of me going into Wisdom of Solomon. So I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. I pray that this lesson was edifying, and double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hopeful elect brothers taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.